All right, everybody, welcome back to Uncalled For. We have a special podcast today because today, well, not only are we back for the first time in months, but now we're on video. Hopefully, you guys watched our Crossbar Challenge video that we put out a few weeks ago. Plan on doing a few more things with that, just trying to get some more equipment and get prepared. But today, we're bringing a video podcast. We're going to have this one up on YouTube. We're also going to have the audio on Spotify and iTunes, just like we normally do. But yeah, we got quite a few things to talk about today. This one, we're going to talk about soccer and kind of, I guess Trey and I are going to mostly talk about the
Super League,
the new Super League, because what the hell else matters anymore? Like, today I was watching United. We won 3-1, and like, what the fuck is the point if that's going to be the case? Like, second place, fucking 10th place, relegation, that doesn't fucking matter anymore.
I'm in the same mindset as you. We had Fulham today
Yep.
and ended up drawing. So it's just like, we can't beat Fulham. How the hell are we going to beat, Barcelona or Real Madrid? And weekly too. It's not like Champions League where
Yeah, I know.
you might get lucky and not have to play them. But
Exactly, because Champions League, it's like, you're gonna have a one-off game here and there. It's a huge thing. I feel like with the Super League, personally, I feel like it kind of just like. Here's the thing: when you play in Champions League is meant to be a very special and privileged thing. You're supposed to work and earn that spot. And when if you get a draw and you play against Real Madrid, you play against the Barcelonas, the Bayern Munichs, it's a big, big, big game, and everybody has that for sure on their calendar. But if that's going to be the case, I feel like it's going to water it down. But at the same time, like, my honest opinion, I mean, it kills the game. I mean, really, like, sports, if we think about it, it's all romanticism of how we want it. We dream of our team, unless we are fans of a team that win all the time, which, you're an Arsenal fan. That ain't the case. I'm a United fan. That's not the case anymore.
how do you think it feels for Spurs fans?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think they are the type that would like it. Here's why. They're not going to win the league anytime soon. They're not going to win the Champions League. Obviously, they can't even fucking win the Europa League because they blow a lead in that. But like, if I'm being honest, it's like that guarantees them a way that they're gonna they're gonna get $350 million. They're always gonna be in the quote unquote elite competition.
Elite.
You know
elite
what I mean?
bracket.
So
Yeah.
they don't ever have to worry about you don't have to worry about top four, Europa League, all that shit doesn't matter anymore. You're guaranteed, because when you're in the founder club, you're guaranteed in that spot, and that's fucking stupid. It's all stupid.
Well, at the same time, a lot of these clubs too, I feel like they're doing it for not just to be in that I guess elite competition. If that, well, obviously it is, since it's the biggest clubs in the world, but at the same time, I feel like it also has to do with the impact that COVID has had on the income of these clubs too.
Yeah.
When you look at Arsenal, we're struggling to scrap money together to
Pay the damn mascot.
to pick up players and stuff like. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, but so, and especially if like when you have when it, I don't do you know if all the clubs are going to be getting paid the same?
As far as I'm aware, all the founding clubs
Will get
of
paid
it
the same
will all
amount.
get the same cut.
Okay.
I don't know how it goes after that. Who else gets in? How other teams get in? But this is all, the what ifs. I was really happy to see that UEFA and the Premier League, like, they fucking came down hard on this shit. And I was happy to see it. I mean, basically, UEFA were saying, like, any of the clubs that are a part of this, if they don't stop, will be banned from domestic competitions,
International.
European competitions, and then the players could be denied denied the ability to play for their national teams.
Well, I was thinking this too. I was saying there's no way uh, the founders of this league, and I'm pretty sure they know this too. There's no way that they can expect all their big name players, because at the same time, like, you know, a lot of these players, they take the World Cup, serious, and they,
Oh yeah,
they say it's a serious thing. There's no way, unless there is a compromise, which, I mean, I don't think that, I don't think the league goes on unless there is a compromise that says that, these players can't compete internationally if they decide to go on with this league.
but that's the thing. I mean, that's kind of one of the. That's a way UEFA saying that is basically a way of them saying that's a message they're sending to the players of these clubs. That message is, if you're a part of this and you're a part of that club, this is going to affect you. You know, you're not going to get to just play the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, the Uniteds, the Arsenals every week. You want to do that, it's going to cost you, and it's going to cost you playing for your national team.
But see, that's, I feel like that's harsh on the players though. And by all means, that's I don't have an opinion on it. I'm just kind of like, there's nothing much that I can do. But I think that's harsh on the players, because at the same time, like, these players have contracts and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it's
they're
not like,
stuck for the most part.
yeah, it's not like they can just tell the club, look, if you guys are going to go into this league, I don't want to be a part of it because I want to compete internationally and stuff like that. But that's not their say, because, they signed the contract and they have the,
But at the same, that's where the legality of all this is going to come into play, because if that happens and they're going to say, well, I signed my contract, before this was the case, and I'm sure in players' contracts too, there's caveats and extra bonuses for qualifying for Champions League and things like that. So how do you, that's going to go against a lot of contracts, and you're going to have to rework them all. And if you're going to rework them, then you're going to have the assumption that they're going to be able to terminate them with these changes. But here's the same thing. Here's the thing. You look at let's give Bruno Fernandes. He's an example, right? Or Paul Pogba, better yet. Who's he linked with historically last few years? Real Madrid, Juventus. Well, it just so happens both of them are going to be in that. Now, if you tell him, all right, but you can't play for France anymore. You're not going to go to the Euros. You're not going to the World Cup. Is he going to say, all right, I think I'm going to go to PSG or Bayern Munich, because that way I can win leagues, and still go play internationally. I think that's what especially I think that's a big reason why PSG and Bayern Munich turned it down, is you figure how heavy they are as far as, well, Bayern Munich, mostly everybody's German in the team. So that, are all of them going to say, okay, yeah, we're not playing for Germany anymore, or PSG, the French players, Mbappe, you can't play for Mbappe, for example, you're 22 years old, you're never playing for France again at 22.
Or even Ronaldo, who's
at the end,
at the age where he's starting to,
this will be his last,
age, but he's getting to, and he's breaking all kinds of records now because he's up there and stuff like that.
Oh, he's a guy who's like, he's scored more goals than anybody in history overall, but he's only like a couple goals away from holding the international record. He'd probably buy out his own goddamn contract just so he could play for Portugal and break the record.
Just look at it like Messi too. Messi's never really won anything with Argentina, and I'm sure he'll want to.
Oh yeah, because
he'll want to get his last last go around and stuff like that. They have the
Copa America this summer. He's not going to want to miss out on that. And I guess we'll just have to see, man. It's just sickening. Like I was saying, I said to Logan, who's also a United fan, it was like a picture of it was an article about Joel Glazer, who said, it took me a couple years to understand the offside rule, and he's the owner of fucking Manchester United. He didn't understand the offside rule for 2 years, right? So he says, He says that, and I replied to Logan in that tweet he sent, and I said, not only has he ruined our club, now he's gonna fucking ruin the sport as a whole. Because Liverpool and United and Real Madrid are at the fucking front of this. This is all their fucking. This is their brain.
I would go ahead and make that assumption and say that Arsenal is too. And
Well,
you
it
want to know one
benefits
thing?
Arsenal.
A lot of the ownership that's in Liverpool, United.
Well, we have American owners.
Yeah, American owners.
You know,
And that's why, and it's no surprise that Kroenke, the family that owns the club, they use Arsenal as a cash cow for the LA Rams.
Well,
So when you see 3.5 billion getting thrown at you for the league, and I'm going to take this 3.5 billion and just invest it into the Rams.
yeah. See, that's what. When the Glazers bought United, they were debt free. The club's almost $1 billion in debt because of them. We inherited their debt, and they pay themselves dividends of like over $20 million a year.
Yeah.
They take and borrow against the club and its worth all the time. That's why our debt is they've milked it. And now they almost want to turn European soccer into an elitist like NFL.
Well, that's what I saw. I saw that they wanted to make like a NBA, NFL style kind of league.
But then what does that leave every other team? How does it work
Well,
with every other, like, look at the teams that aren't included. All right, so let's give an example. So you have Leicester City, right? You have look at the table right now. Leicester City aren't included in that, but they've also won a league more recently than United, than Arsenal, than Spurs haven't.
But Spurs have been pretty successful.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Leicester right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's saying to them, yeah, you're not a part of it anymore. You're not going to be a part of that. That's unfair to them.
I was gonna say it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt the smaller clubs that aren't in this league too, because the league's gonna lose. These leagues are gonna lose a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
and
because
so
part of the whole way the Premier League is set up.
Not only are they hurting, I was gonna say, sorry to cut you off, but not only are they hurting the smaller clubs, but they're also hurting these leagues too.
Yeah, so the way the Premier League works is you have your TV contract, and they separate it among where you finish, right? But anywhere, even if you're relegated, your payday's huge. Well, if you say, all right, the Premier League still exists, but now you don't have Arsenal, United, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Spurs, you're gonna take the biggest teams. Nobody gives a fuck about watching the league anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the TV contract will be cut in half. Then you're just gonna have then the local scene in England and in Spain and all that, it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be terrible. Especially because I'll tell you what, the Spanish teams already get the shit end of the deal. Because Real Madrid and Barcelona have like their own exclusive TV deals, because they don't follow the same way
with beIN Sports, right?
Yeah, but it's like they get so much money and the rest of the clubs get shit, and that's just gonna hurt La Liga even more than it already is. And like, I just give the example of Leicester, right? Remember that team that got promoted, finished 1 point above the relegation battle, and then the next season they go out and fucking win the league. Those fans who were watching championship football 2 years before get to win the fucking league and then say, we have something to do on Tuesday nights now. We're going to the fucking stadium and watching a Champions League game. We might have Real Madrid. We might have Barcelona. Messi might play on our field. And that's just gone. The hope, the dreams, it's all gone. You can't work your way up to the top anymore. That shit's gone. Look at West Ham this year. West Ham are almost doing the impossible for them. And it'll be all for nothing if it's all taken away. Because it's just, because, sorry, it doesn't matter that you're better than Arsenal right now or Spurs right now. You don't have the prestige or the money. So,
yeah,
it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad to see it.
Yeah, it is. It is unfair. It's like you can compare that to the upper class
Yeah, I
in
mean,
America.
I tell you this.
The rich stay rich,
Yeah, and
while the poor gets
it's
poorer, and the gap's just going to continue.
yeah, it's sad but what makes me happy about it, to be honest with you, is when I have looked at Twitter today, right? Um, it looks like the everybody is pissed off and seems like they're devastated about it. You know that I don't see anybody talking about. Oh, I'm so happy
Oh
about
yeah,
this.
I mean, I like unless it's like, I mean, I saw something where Wenger had said, I think it was about 10 years ago. He said it's actually kind of crazy. I think he said it in 29 or 2009 or 2010. I can't remember, but he said in 10 years there's gonna be like something similar to like a super league, and all these teams are going to be playing, and basically saying how money is just going to be the root to all this stuff like that. And when I found out how much these teams were getting, like I said, 3.5 billion if you are a founding member,
Yeah,
there's no way, like especially with the way times are now with COVID and stuff like that, there's no way anybody's turning that down.
yeah. I mean, it was honestly just perfect timing for the big clubs to say, you know what, we're gonna make a power move to assure that we're gonna stay on top. And like I said, what's the incentive to be better anymore? Because if Manchester United are in this, that means I'm gonna have to watch fucking Harry Maguire play forever. I'm gonna have to watch Fred play because ultimately, what does it matter? Because if you keep it right now, you know, for United to make up the gap to win the league, say next year, hypothetically, okay, they're gonna have to buy a lot of players. They have to get better. But if
Yeah,
we're already in the elite competition guaranteed every year, what the fuck does it matter? Unless we have the grand ambition to actually win something. You know, I imagine it would be like Real Madrid, Manchester City, Barcelona. Um, the three of them are going to fucking dominate that league. Because I can tell you, Manchester City would be eager to win it because they don't have Champions League success. So they
mm-hmm.
would be like, "Oh, this is our chance. Now we're with the top dogs. We want to prove that we're on top over a season style format instead of a
Yeah.
knockout tournament." Real Madrid will be eager because they are the most famous
Well,
European competitor.
it's funny you say the season style. I saw the format of it. I think it was like the top four. I think they said they wanted 20 teams. I think they said the top four uh, in each. I think they were going to split it into two groups of 10. And I think they said the top four in each group will guaranteed make it, with the fifth team making, or the fifth and sixth or something like that, having a little playoff game to figure out who gets into like the last spot or something like that. Something similar. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it was something like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I saw. And I can't remember where I saw it actually, but
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's
I,
just, and it makes me mad too, because now that Arsenal are finally getting back into this competition that we've been struggling to, well, not even struggling, we just haven't gotten it in years. Um, like earlier, we can't even beat Fulham. How do you expect us to beat Barcelona and Real Madrid week in, week out?
no, I agree. I agree. I mean, but the thing is, your owners and everybody on the board doesn't give a shit about that. The fans do, but that's where everybody. Um, I'm a huge fan of Stretford Paddock and Stephen Howson. They do a United fan channel, right? And Stephen Howson did a video on it today about the Super League and all that shit. And he was saying, they're ruining our club. I'm ashamed to be a fan right now. I'm ashamed of my club, and I feel the same way. But you know what I realized? It's not my club. It the Glaziers have taken it, and it's theirs. And people need to understand they're gonna do
A
whatever the fuck
business.
they want.
It is a
And
business.
and you know what? There's nothing we can do about it. We
And that's why sports in general, I mean, even like, it's not even just soccer or football, but it's not, it's every sport has become a business. And
Well, I think it's funny. I'm pretty sure the way I think Bayern Munich are run. I'm pretty sure on this that they're actually majority fan owned. That it's
yep.
like 51%, so they get the final say.
Hmm.
Here's the thing: is like if I'm Manchester United worth like 4 billion, right? If I had 4 billion, 5 billion, I could go and fucking knock on their door and say, "Hey, here's a fucking 8 briefcases of, or fucking more. As here's $4 billion in any way you fucking want it, right?" They can say, "We're not for sale. Sorry," and then I just have to turn around and be like, okay, I thought you were supposed to say yes." There's no guarantee. They can tell me to all of anybody to fuck off. You know what I mean? It's not for sale. It's like anybody can come to my house and ask to buy my car. You know what I mean? And I don't have to. Even if somebody offered me fucking $10 million for my car and it ain't worth even 10 grand at this anymore, I can still say no. I'm stupid for saying no, but I still can. I have the power to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's mine. So it's just I don't know, it's sad. And I actually found this very interesting. I found it fascinating today. So when I got an ESPN notification that said Alex Ferguson said that if the Super League would do nothing but ruin the last 70 years of football history. And I thought that was fascinating because you have the most important man in Manchester United's history, who is still a member somewhat of the board and has a lot of say, speaking against the club and what they want to do. That is huge. And that's huge for fans, and that's huge not even for United fans. That's huge for fans of all the teams, because you're saying the most successful manager of all time is basically saying, don't do this. Do not do this. This will ruin the game.
It's going to ruin everything.
And he's saying that, and that should unite everybody else. And if he will speak against that and speak against the club, that's a big deal, and people should listen to that.
But what do you think? Like that's what I'm still trying to sort of process in my head. Why? Like, is there like an internal beef like within the camp of like all these owners and UEFA and FIFA and stuff like that the fans don't know about, to where it's just like, all right, I've had enough.
No, I think I just think it's a money grab.
Or is it just simply a money
It's a money grab, 100%.
Well, I'm looking at a tweet right now from the Twitter page, Football Bible. I see a few of there. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just going to say Florentino Perez, the chairman of the Super League, there's a quote that said, "If the players participating in the European Super League are banned from playing the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, we will create our own World Cup tournament. It is not a big deal."
See, and that's fucking stupid, because that's just changing everything too.
And at that point, that's just instead of one middle finger up to UEFA and FIFA, that's two.
Well, and UEFA and FIFA have been corrupt. That's no surprise. The whole World Cup being in Qatar and Russia previously was corruption. But you know what? It's not it isn't to this level, because here's the reason. They can say it. I already know they're going to say, well, this will help football. This will help.
I see no way it helps.
It doesn't help anybody but them.
It hurts. It hurts everybody but the 20 teams that are in this.
Yeah, because like we said, you're gonna get a guarantee. You're gonna get yourselves, over the course of time. I think each team initially will get 350 million like a season, and it's like
money talks.
The thing is, if you're guaranteed that, because I think you can get that much money and without having to win the Champions League, without having to win the Premier League. So you mean to tell me, like, I just have to fucking show up and I'm gonna make this, and I'm gonna stay in it because I'm a founding member? Okay, it just makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense if you're a businessman, but I mean, if you fucking care about, I like the term that UEFA and the Premier League uses, sporting merit. I don't know, because like it actually kind of. I heard the talks about it when I was watching the United game because the commentators were mentioning it, and I guess kind of when all the clubs were announcing what they were doing, and UEFA did it. It made me really feel like I felt like I wasted my morning watching the game because like it doesn't matter. Arsenal scoring a late equalizer doesn't matter. If this proceeds and this goes through the Super League, today, that emotion of scoring a late equalizer, I know it's still Fulham and you could have lost, but you score late. But that emotion of that late equalizer doesn't matter. Mason
Well,
Greenwood getting a brace today doesn't fucking matter. It's none of it matters.
I don't know if United had done this yet, but Arsenal, they already put out
Yeah, Arsenal.
like
I
it,
saw
they
they put out a official
put out
tweet.
an official tweet saying that they were one of the founding clubs.
I checked on United's Twitter and they haven't, but I think maybe the reason I think Arsenal did it was because this morning when it was reported,
Chelsea put out theirs.
because what I was gonna say when it was reported this morning, they said Arsenal are in it, but they haven't like named themselves yet, and I think the reason they put out the tweet was because they were claiming ownership, where fucking United and Real Madrid and Liverpool don't have to say anything because
Well, Liverpool put out theirs.
yeah, we didn't. I went through our Twitter, but
Every team I'm seeing right now has put out theirs, but United.
and I think maybe some of that's because of the it's a PR thing. I think when your all-time club legend Sir Alex Ferguson says that that's a fucking shit idea,
Kind of like you're almost like scared to do it, almost.
well then it shows that you have division inside the club at the highest level. Um,
I mean, like I said, the way it's looking right now, it is looking like it's something that like it's gonna happen. And I
well,
like it's just so crazy to see like if this goes through, like with everything, like papers get signed, like schedules start to get announced because this thing is supposed to happen in August. So if it does go through, I'm expecting like everything's gonna be moving at a rapid pace. So like you
well, and
know,
it's like
FIFA is going to be a whole lot more different. I mean, there's going to be barely any ultimate. What are they going to put? Jamie Vardy is the highest rated player in the
well,
game.
what I imagine. Well, here's how it will be. Say for a game like FIFA, the video game.
Pez might fucking take
No, no,
over
no.
and
Here's what's
fucking.
gonna happen. It's gonna be like how Juventus aren't technically a club in FIFA because they didn't
Oh
get the
yeah,
licensing.
yeah.
FIFA will. Oh, well, it won't happen because FIFA and the Super League are at fucking. They hate each other right now, so they're not gonna. That means that they would have to go to these clubs, FIFA the
And
game, and the Super League, and have to negotiate another fucking thing for something they already have. And it doesn't matter. I'll be honest with you. Fucking Pez can do whatever the fuck they want. I'll never play that shit game. I mean, so I'll play with a fucking Manchester Red on FIFA and pretend, and because I will not play Pez. That game's actually a piece of shit, and it always has been and it always will be. No matter the fact that EA Sports just rip everybody off, but whatever. It's still a better game than Pez. Um, but I don't know. I was just kind of heartbroken a little bit by it today.
no, it is hard. It's gut wrenching.
I love the
Honestly,
Premier League. The last years suck. Watching the games honestly does suck without fans. It's not the same. And it feels like they're doing everything they can to try to take away from the romanticism of it. Yeah, I remember when I first got into it, I was a senior in high school, or and I remember I worked at a landscaping company on Saturday mornings. I used to drive down to our where we kept all the plants, and I would get up at like 4:30 in the morning, drive down there, water all the plants, and I get home maybe about like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I would get home and I'd sit in my chair and I'd turn on the TV and I was up, so I just watched Premier League every morning. And I remember, that was the 2012, 2013 season. I remember Spurs. It seemed like always played early in the morning on ESPN. Remember Gareth Bale fucking ripping the league apart, and I really fell in love. Like it became part of my tradition. You know, every Saturday morning it was like get up, go to work, come home, watch the game. Um, Whatever game was on, I watched every game. You know, now I don't watch every game. I pretty much only watch United, and I watch the big Champions League games. But back then, dude, it didn't matter who the fuck played. Newcastle
Yeah.
would have played Norwich, and I was gonna watch that game. Um, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I've been an Arsenal fan since day one, since I started, watching this back around the same time you did, and I've supported them through everything, throughout the the Bayern Munich Champions League games where we would get just destroyed every single year by them. Um, through the Europa League, the early Europa League days, and especially like every single year it's just something that's been something always just gets worse, and so I'm always going to support them. But like everybody else, I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
This is all for money, and is the competition in the Premier League not enough? Like we're in ninth place. You know,
Uh,
there are teams that I will say there are teams that are ahead of us that deserve it more than Arsenal. But
they just
because
don't
we
have
have
the
the
name.
money, because we have the money, because you know,
Yeah, the
if
fans.
anything, in a perfect world, if this was a thing, we should have asked Arsene Wenger, let him decide, because
Well,
he's the
he
one
would
that.
say he's already on the board of UEFA. I'm pretty sure
Well,
it's and
well,
he.
I'm just saying, like, in a perfect world, we should let him be the deciding guy because he's the one who built this club up.
Mhm.
So all that work that he did, all those years where him and Sir Alex Ferguson were pretty much, you know, going back and forth, those big rivalry games and stuff like that, the 2004 season, the Invincible season, all that gone.
Yeah.
For what? Money. So it's sad, honestly.
Yeah. Well. Well, anyway, I think that probably about covers it. Um, I guess now since this is gonna be on YouTube, like you can get in the comments and let us know what you guys think. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. We're gonna do another episode actually here soon too, on a big event that I'm sure everybody has already heard of. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. You can check it out on YouTube for the video. Spotify and iTunes is going to be up there as always. Um, Follow us on Twitter at the Uncalled For with two E's. And hopefully you guys enjoy. Um, stay on YouTube and just we should hopefully have more videos for that. Not only video podcasts, but hopefully some more just other content.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna get all the guys together too. Maybe do some reaction videos and just have some fun. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right.